Hi guys, it's April. Sorry, starting a few minutes later than normal. Had a little bit of a fiasco with the Instant Pot, but we're all good now. Trying to do too many things at once and my brain just kind of went, whoo! Okay, today we are going to find out what your guys' winning vote for what I should color next. I'm not going to be coloring anything today, and I'm sorry for that. Just I don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to get on here and show you what I will be doing next. But before I do that, I will show you all of the pieces that were in the voting for both our community tab and over on Twitter. So the first one, let me get these all out of the way, was in, I think it was in this one, was in Wild Winter. And that was this adorable jarred hummingbird page. Now, I know technically this was more of a wintry piece because you've got all of these Christmas lights scattered throughout, but the way my brain was working is I would make those more like those twinkle lights that the fairy light kind of style that everyone's like hanging everywhere anymore in their gardens, and make it more of this like spring-like feel. And something about this page, it just said it needed to be colored. So I put this one up for vote. The second one is in a new coloring book that I got recently, and that is Secret Worlds by Stephanie Law. She does some of the most gorgeous fantasy pieces, especially when she interweaves them with these like succulents. I love them. And in this one, there is this beautiful unicorn page with this fairy on the stack of books. And there's like roses everywhere, or succulents, however you decide you want to color them. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. And there's just like this mix of water and garden and everything. And so it was calling spring to me. So this is the second one I put in the vote. This third one, I struggled back and forth between whether or not I wanted to put it on the voting list because it is a complicated piece, and I've been doing a lot of complicated pieces recently. And I know this one's going to take quite a while because I'm going to want to match styles, and that is the piece in the Thomas Kinkade coloring book, and that is this purple tree picture. Something about this cottage and the teals and the greens and the pinks and the purples are some of my favorite color combinations. So I knew at some point I wanted to color this page, but I know I struggle with the Thomas Kinkade coloring books because they make these lines so freaking bold. So if this was vote for the third one on the voting list, and if I am going to do this page, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I might try and find a way to just make all of the lines fade first. That might be my first goal on this page before I go over with any other medium. And I totally get it, Elizabeth. There's something very intimidating about Thomas Kinkade. He's got such a whimsical art style that to try and color one of his pieces can sometimes just be. But I have enjoyed both the Disney ones I have done on this channel, so this one got thrown in there. And like I said, I'm always trying to color at least one page in any coloring book I've got. So all of the ones I put up for vote, I haven't colored anything in them yet. So this will be the first page on any of these coloring books that I do. So that was number 3. Number 4 was also in the Posh coloring book line, and that is in the Inspired by Nature, just because, like I said, I'm feeling the spring vibes right now. And so I pulled out this page right here because there's something so soft and sweet about this page, and I know there's not a lot of color but something about this like monochromatic scheme kind of called to me, and I wanted to kind of attempt it. And this coloring book. What I love about this coloring book is the fact that these lines are so soft that I don't feel like I'm going to be fighting the illustration to kind of match what is going on the other page. So I threw this one in there because I don't know, something about it. Something about it was just like, this will be a quick spring piece to bring in the color that's starting to show up everywhere. So I threw this in as number 4. Now, which one of these said pieces won? For a while there, I was concerned because there were 3 that kept on just following each other. And sadly, not very many people. Okay, there was one person and myself who wanted to see me color the hummingbird grass. So maybe someday. Someday maybe. But not today. So the last 3 remaining were these 3. And I can't say I would be mad if I colored any of these. Well, this one was not chosen, and I still don't know exactly how I'd want to do this one, because the cool thing is, I mean, it's only one-sided, so I could try some of the watercolor techniques that Stephanie is known for and trying to emulate some of that style. So then we had a massive tie between the jarred hummingbirds and Thomas Kinkade. There was something about the jarred hummingbirds that I thought could be really, really fun. And then there's something very fun about the coloring scheme in Kinkade. So I can't say I would be mad about either, but I do know that the one in Mythographic would probably go quicker because I'd probably do a marker base for this and go over with colored pencils and try to make it this whimsical kind of scheme. For Thomas Kinkade, I'm going to have to find a way to bring those lines down. And then I'd probably just do it in colored pencils like I've done in the past because I don't want to ruin the other side of the page. So, out of these 2, it came down to one deciding vote. Can you guess which one won? Yeah, that's right. This one did. Part of me knew as soon as I put Thomas Kinkade on the voting list, I would have people very strongly wanting me to do this page. I think there's something about watching someone else attempt these complicated pages that makes them seem slightly less intimidating because you can kind of see some of the styles that somebody else is doing. And so it becomes more of a, oh, well, maybe I can do that. So I am totally fine with the fact that this one got chosen. I will admit that I'm still not 100% sure on how I'm going to tackle this page. I need to find a way to just like do a light wash that won't stop the colored pencils from going down. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research this week to see if I can find something that kind of meets that criteria of getting those lines up without destroying the page. And then I don't think I'm going to use a set of colored pencils. I think I'm going to tackle it the same way I've done a lot of my other Kinkade pages. Is I'm going to use a mix and match of polychromos and Holbeins to find the right colors to match all of this. But this page is such a soft looking page that this line work. So if you guys have any suggestions on how maybe I can get some of these lines to not necessarily disappear, but become less impactful, I would love to hear any of your suggestions. So I'm going to leave this video up so that if you couldn't make it to this live, you can come and see which piece got chosen. but B, you can also help me figure out what to do for this page with these lines. Leave me suggestions. I would love to hear from them if you have any ideas whatsoever. Shoot them my way. I have used Posca before, but it does leave lines. And I would like something a little bit more uniform so that I'm not fighting the Posca lines. I don't know what that is. I mean, I could possibly attempt a whitewash of acrylic paint, like water down some white acrylic paint and try that a little bit. But if I get too heavy-handed with that, I can't go over this with colored pencil. So I'm going to be very, very careful with that. That's kind of the first thing that came to my mind. But other than that, I'm open to suggestions. So if you've got them, yeah, I mean, I did think about white gel pen too, Elizabeth. But I mean, I don't want to follow each and every one of these lines to make them disappear. I want something quick that I can just like swipe across the whole page and get all of the lines at once, because I can guarantee you that most of these lines I'm going to want to disappear. So if I could do that quicker than just trying to make them disappear by section as I'm coloring and drawing over them with a pen, say a Posca or a white gel pen, I would love that. And Elizabeth, I did see that new coloring book you got, and I'm super excited to see what you do with that coloring page. Other than that, I am not entirely sure which part of this page I'm going to start with. I think my main goal for next weekend is making these lines fade out. So, with that, this is the page I'm going to be coloring. I know this was a short stream. These ones usually are when I'm announcing what I'm going to be coloring. But I am glad that all of you who could make it could show up. And I do hope you guys will join me again next weekend when we start this page. And we'll see how this goes. I mean, we've had several suggestions in the chat. I'll have to do a little bit of research around everything, but then we'll just kind of see where it goes. I don't know. We've been in this realm of trying to figure out a Kinkade page before, but I feel like this is slightly new because each Kinkade piece we learn something slightly different, or at least I learned something slightly different. So if you have any suggestions on how to do a full sweep without ruining the page for taking down colored pencils, leave a suggestion. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I am going to go and I'm going to go plant in the garden because it is that time of year. So I hope you guys just have a wonderful week. I hope to see you guys again next weekend, where we'll probably have a fun adventure of making these lines disappear. And I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.